Today we're talking about art,
podcast.
aerospace, and other things that start with an A. And I guess we'll give them what we got, which is the headlines. So we do have a lot of headlines, some even some corrections for stuff that happened last week, and some things we didn't talk about at all. So the freshest stuff first, which is the FBI actually found more classified documents at Biden's home. Well, the previous ones were like in an office he used. And then they found some at another location, and now they've raided his house in a 13-hour search, which is kind of like, it kind of gives the political opposition that satisfaction, right? They were like, well, you raided Trump's house. Why aren't you going to raid Biden's house? This search was consensual, and they did find more classified documents.
This sounds naughty. A consensual search.
We got that very sexual energy in 2023.
He just fucking forgot where he put all his shit.
He just forgot, man. He just forgot.
He just doesn't know. He doesn't remember where any of his shit is.
I guarantee that's what's going on.
I was listening to a podcast on NPR or something, and they were saying that like it's actually super common for classified documents to just end up all over the place. Outside of the FBI and the CIA, like, these other government organizations are not trained on how to handle classified documents, and it's not drilled into them. So like they, it just happens, and they have a term for it called spillage.
Isn't that? Don't you have to go through training to get your top secret clearance?
I've had to sign many confidentiality contracts,
dude. You have to
know
sign
what you're supposed to do.
You think they get training?
Yeah.
You're thinking about the FBI and the CIA, bro.
I would fucking hope so.
This is politicians. Yeah, you would hope so. Apparently, it's not a thing.
No, it doesn't matter if it's politicians.
What happens?
Fucking government. Their entire career is on handling classified documents. Don't give me that shit.
The lowest
politicians,
like the lowest office clerk is trained not to steal stuff.
The lower you are,
ignorance of the law is no excuse.
No. The lower you are, the more likely it is that you won't have any classified documents like exposed or taken or stuff like that. Because when you're at the lowest level, you go into a room,
don't get them.
You can get access to these documents, and then when you leave the room, you're checked again. You don't take anything with you. When you're
it's
at
like
the highest
when you go
levels,
to the gas station and they give you the key that's attached to the cinder block.
Like that, exactly. But when you're at the highest levels, you have full permission to do with the document as what you want. So
Come right in, Mr. President.
Oh,
the thing is, the documents get delivered to the official, in this case to the president, and a lot of times they get delivered. Some things are classified, some things are not, and you just grab it in your hands, you jump into Air Force One, and you go wherever you need to go, dude. In the limo, you put it in the limo, put it in the aircraft, whatever. So they get taken all over the place. So the higher you are, the more likely it is.
to complacency.
Yes, correct. And it's a normal thing, and they have an industry.
You know who I feel bad for? That poor clerk that actually delivered it.
Uh-huh.
And they're still waiting to get it back to return it. Meanwhile, Biden's on Air Force One.
He's fucking sweating.
He knows he's supposed to get it. He can't go back without it. He's going to hear it. That's who I feel bad for. That's the guy who gets
bug
checked.
The
Where are they?
Excuse me, sir. Do you still have those?
Right.
I don't have your time, man.
Get that back?
You get it back when I give it to you.
And then they're the ones who get. Where's the folder, Seth? And he's Seth, like,
I don't have.
So what? So people are some people are mad.
But you see, like,
and they're saying, well, why didn't he get scrutinized and fucking try to impeach just like fucking what's his face? Trump did for having fucking documents everywhere.
Yeah, and that didn't happen right away. So why don't give it time? Yeah. I bet you it's going to happen now with Republicans in power. But what I thought was funny is if we consider that this is a common occurrence and that spillage, as they refer to it in the industry, is normal, like how is Trump going to spill 43 boxes, accidentally carried them onto his Air Force One? So
it happened over time.
Sure.
They just put him into 43 boxes. I'm sure they were everywhere. All over his fucking. Have you seen
that's probably like briefings. It's briefings from every single day of him being in office, because allegedly he can't read, so he would just stack them up in the same place.
Whatever.
He's like, I'm gonna review these in private. No.
He never got around to it. You know what you do with those papers? You put them at the bottom of your pile, and then you just grab that pile, and you don't even realize it.
No, you're going to be mad at this next thing, bro. Apparently, there is no master list, no index of how many classified documents there are. So there's no way to track them. And there's, like, in the FBI, they don't have a list that says, oh, this document just got classified. So let's go find it. Where are all the copies? Who has what? There's no list. And once it goes and gets shared with like the CIA, they have zero oversight as to how they manage it. Once it goes to the White House, they have zero insight into how they manage it. So there's no management going on right now.
So classified is really more of a suggestion at this point, really.
Yeah.
It's a blanket term.
Look, I'm going to tell you something, but don't tell everybody.
Here's a secret.
It's just labeled for your eyes only.
Well, you know what Ben Franklin used to say? 3 men can keep a secret if 2 of them are dead.
I love that.
That sounds like a veiled threat. I'm sorry.
There's 3 of us here. So.
Who's got the secret?
I know nothing.
Well, the good thing is the full scoop, not a secret. It is public, and you can catch episodes every week on Wednesdays. Sometimes I get lazy, so you'll catch them on Thursdays. Sorry about that. But let's move on to the next story, which is, we didn't talk about this last week. A chick cop sleeps with a whole department. Did you hear about this? The female cop?
God. It was 6 fucking people. It was the whole department.
Is that the entire department, really?
It was the whole department.
That's a tiny department. I'm sorry. It's not that impressive.
Town.
It's not that impressive. I knew some friends in college that could knock out 6 on a weekend.
Right. That's what I'm saying. If that is the entire department, then the town's got to be like 60 people. The odds are any other people in that city already fucked all 6 of them too. So what the fuck?
She's the only female in that city.
Oh my god!
I think you're focusing on the wrong part of this story. It's not the department part that's the issue. That's attention grabbing.
What's
here.
The issue?
Let's say it wasn't that she slept with the whole department. Would you be happier if it said that she slept with the whole shift? You know,
I was gonna say it's not that she slept with the whole department. It's that the wives found out.
Right.
Yeah, that's the problem. They couldn't keep their fucking mouths shut.
How dare you put it on the news?
Look, the way I see it, she's the only one doing anything to raise morale at the fucking station, okay?
These are men who are now eager to show up to work.
Yeah.
I guarantee you nobody on that shift was late.
They have something worth fighting for.
More puss in the boots.
What happened was it was Police Officer Appreciation Week. She didn't quite
some
get
of
the
us
7.
donate our charity. Some of us donate our time and money. Some of us donate something else.
Time, for sure. In our next headline, Alec Baldwin expected to be charged with involuntary manslaughter. Did y'all hear about that?
Yeah, I did.
That gun thing?
Like I knew what had happened. I didn't know if he was what.
Yeah.
They were trying.
The Rust movie shooting thing. It was kind of a weird situation that happened. So besides Alec Baldwin, the armorer and assistant director David Halls is also going to be the assistant director actually signed an agreement to plead guilty. But I want to talk about the armorer because when this story came out, apparently the armorer was like, she's in her 20s. She's the daughter of a famous or well-known Hollywood armorer. And a lot of people were saying that she got the job because of nepotism. And,
she should have never been there.
She doesn't really know what she's doing. And that she shouldn't have been there. And that really, like, this should have been mostly her fault. Because apparently live bullets were made on set. And they were shooting the guns used for the movie for entertainment, like, after shooting. And after shooting the movie, right? And so
who doesn't
there were live bullets in the gun when they came back to come into work the next day to film the movie again. So, like, really, if anybody's at fault, like, apparently they're saying they should be the armor. But there's different levels of checks, like, all throughout, and so all three of these people are going to be charged. I think they haven't, as of yet, charged them, but that's what they're working on. So.
Yeah, I think after what happened with Brandon Lee on The Crow, there should be no excuse for any of this to happen again. Like, I get we make mistakes, but as you said, like, the gun was being fired around for entertainment purposes, or they were playing around with it and making real bullets. That's the inexcusable part. There was no mistake there. They intentionally did this stuff.
Right. It was negligence.
Did y'all hear there was a CBP officer that died on the range? They were doing firearms quals.
Oh, shit.
And as they were doing the demonstration of the shotgun, one instructor negligently shot the other instructor in the chest with a fucking slug.
Wow.
And put him out. The instructors, bro, of years and years and years. Yeah, that's, I don't know.
Well, coming back to complacency, right?
But but again, like, that was accidental, right? Like, they weren't goofing around with it.
Right.
Yeah. Like, that's tragic. That's terrible.
Well, that's the story.
Like, well, that's the story. Touche.
Right. In our next story, Robbie Knievel passes away. We didn't talk about this. This was last week, January 13th.
Son?
He died, the son of Evel Knievel. And this was after battling pancreatic cancer. And if anybody who's listening doesn't know who Rob Knievel is, or Evel Knievel, basically, this show might not be for you because this is we talk about 80s, 90s things here. And Evel Knievel was one of the most famous, or maybe the most famous stuntman who ever lived. Motorcycle stuntman. He yeah, exactly. He
jumped the Empire State Building once or something like
that. Maybe it was laying down because he jumped. He jumped 10 buses, then 14 Greyhound buses. But it was I think he failed. He failed to jump across the Grand Canyon or something, right?
Is that what killed him?
Is that what? I'm not sure because
it's cancer.
He died. I don't know, but I wanted to. Well, no, that's Evel Knievel, and then I wanted to focus on Robbie Knievel because he actually kicked ass too, right? He followed in his dad's footsteps. He jumped from one building to another in Las Vegas. He jumped over a moving train, and then he actually jumped over the Grand Canyon. So, like, he's got some awesome.
And
stunts.
They put it all into Fast and the Furious
movie. In his body in the attempts. They put it into Fast and Furious. No, bro. They put it into. I thought they put it into Toy Story 4. You got that Keanu Reeves character, Duke Kaboom. Canada's greatest stuntman, Duke Kaboom. And I looked up who Canada's greatest stuntman actually is, and that's it was some guy who I don't know named Ken Carter. And I was like, oh, maybe Duke Kaboom wasn't based on Evel Knievel. But his costume clearly is. So, anybody watch Toy Story 4? Duke Kaboom is actually inspired by Evel Knievel. So, the Knievels live on. Has anybody seen Avatar 2?
Yes, The Way of Water.
You saw?
I never even finished part 1.
I did.
I'm still watching it. It's that long.
I started last week.
You started a week ago.
I watched the director's cut. I can't finish it.
Oh God, Schneider's cut.
Well, what's your? Oh no. What do you report back, Johnny? How was it?
It's good entertainment. Writing was weak.
Off to a bad start.
Very
right.
Scenarios and situations that just don't make sense. You know, he's trying to get the guy.
Right.
He already has his family in custody, right? He's using them as bait, and he's like, I'm asserting that he will come for them, and then I'll kill them all. I'm like, speaking as a father, all you had to do was pick one off, and I will fucking be there, regardless.
He will come to you.
Beeline,
Right.
fucking scene red. I'll be there, and he would have had him. Maybe 45 minutes into the movie, he would have had him. But then that doesn't make a good movie.
Right.
So what do we do with the
aside
other
from
3
that-
hours?
Yeah. Aside from that, man, yeah, the visuals were pretty badass. Of course, you always like, there was a change in scenery. It was just as magical, I guess.
how-
it was nice.
Johnny, how blue was this movie?
That's an
All right, that was a stumper. Let's move on.
Right.
The answer is
Very.
all the blue.
Oh, blue. Every shade of blue. 50 shades of blue.
He discovered some new shades of blue.
From 0 to dabba dee dabba die. How blue was it?
It was definitely dabba dee dabba die.
All the way to Eiffel 65.
Yes.
So
Fucking 90s.
James
Damn it,
Cameron, man,
again?
like, yeah, that's what we do here, man. That's what we do here. Well,
I felt like they could have done a
well,
lot more, though. Like the atmosphere, the creatures. They focused too much on that idiot, that bad guy. Like crappy lines. Just they wanted to show his hatred for that guy. Like really, bro? Like he just spent billions of fucking dollars just to kill these 2 idiots or this family. Like really, they had already taken over everything that they wanted.
Right. There was no need. Is what you're saying.
Exactly, dude. There was no need for part 2.
It's
Like,
one of
from a-
those
from a business
contrived plot
standpoint.
points.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, you've convinced me. I will not watch it. This next story, there was a European commission who used a supercomputer to scientifically model our Earth. And apparently we're going to be extinct by the end of the century.
Oh, I thought you were going to say apparently it is flat.
That's a shame. Oh, wow. They were right. They were right the whole time.
Apparently curves are imaginary. No, their modeling shows 27% of plants and animals will disappear.
Ah,
by
the animals.
2100. Well, there'll be a lot less to catalog then.
Fearsome beasts of the wilds and plains. They're all trying to kill us anyways.
Yeah. Oh, well, that's a good point. So the supercomputer simulated food webs, co-extinctions, and a bunch of other possibilities. And apparently 10% of all plant and animal species will actually disappear by 2050. So,
I'll see that.
We might live to see that?
in the middle. Yeah,
right.
we're in the middle
Wow.
of a mass extinction, and it's not slowing down. We've seen in the
Thanks
past
a lot,
50
vegans.
to 100 years. Stop
We
eating
can
all
put
these
more
killing
animals back
animals.
in.
I'm killing the animals, dude. You're killing the fucking plants. I breathe that air, bro.
Here is my question, though. That's actually, you kind of bring that up. Is all this happening because of people? Because if we look back throughout history,
100%.
there have always been mass extinctions throughout
Right.
history.
Yes,
Right.
but natural
Are we making it worse?
extinctions, man. Natural extinctions.
Right,
John-
exactly.
Johnny's our science correspondent, so I will defer to him.
Oh, 100%, man. We're
Right.
destroying the whole fucking ecosystem of the earth. Now, we may fucking kill ourselves, but the planet's going to go on. Like, this is not the first extinction that it sees.
Yeah,
You know,
I
it's
think
still
once
got
humans are
billions of years
gone,
left.
you're going to see the Earth is, well, we won't
It'll,
see
like,
it,
just
but
pop back
the
up.
Earth is going to balance back out.
Yeah.
And that's what they believe, that this may have already happened several times. And with these extinctions, it has completely erased,
Oh.
a lot of our history. And that's why, why don't we know more about our early civilizations and stuff like that? It says that this may be just a reoccurring thing.
Right. Yeah, I think
It's
that too.
cyclical.
I agree with that. But well,
I guess it won't really balance that out till we start colonizing Mars and get over there.
Yep.
See,
and so
we don't have to worry. Nothing for humans to drive to extinction on Mars.
It's already fucked.
It's already terrible. It's like when you
used to live over there.
There are believers that Mars is what we did to it, and that's why it's like that. So,
like when you just leave a house, you're just like when you leave a car on the side of the road. And you're just like, this piece of crap doesn't no good anymore. And then we just hopped over.
Some guy fucking sees it and says, "Ooh, restoration project."
That's where we're at. We're at. We're trying to restore Mars. Here.
Speaking of space, last week we were talking about SpaceX, and here are some corrections. So, SpaceX has a base in Boca Chica, Texas. Boca Chica. I said Boca Raton, which is, I think, in Florida.
Rat's asshole.
Yeah. Boca Raton.
Which is a good description of Florida. Boca Raton. That's the rat's mouth on the ass.
The rat's mouth. The other correction is that Falcon Heavy did launch from Cape Canaveral. We were trying to figure out if that was the case.
All right.
Yes.
Okay.
So not at all related to Boca Raton.
And it did have a secret payload on board.
It did have a secret payload. That's right. So it was, get this, we missed this. It was Space Force's first national security mission. Of 2023. It
happened live as we were recording the show.
It did, yeah.
And we missed it.
That's what we found out, that we missed it.
We had the wrong page open.
I had the wrong stream open. It was just... So what I was trying to do is,
so essentially, you just Googled Boca Raton, and you're just like, man, what's with all this Boca Raton brochures and everything? Welcome to Boca Raton.
It's just like, where's the rocket, man? I guess it's gonna be a few more hours before they bring it out.
I guess they got delayed again.
They're trying to sell me some swampland here. I don't get it.
No, man. I had the SpaceX YouTube official channel, right? Had a stream, and usually I see a video and I put it on mute so that while we're doing the podcast, I could catch something that comes up on there. This was an audio only stream.
Oh, God.
And they actually showed the video on like the NASA
NASA's
channel.
YouTube.
Okay. So I didn't catch, like, the video never moved, but they were giving us the updates over audio, which I had muted all throughout the podcast. Otherwise, I would have caught like, "Hey, we're about to launch," and would have.
And me and Alan watched it after the show. It did the two boosters, like they had complete visual launch to re-landing of everything, and the visuals just looked amazing.
Yeah, it always looks fake. That's how awesome it looks. Except for when it blows up, then it's real. Like, that's wasted money. They definitely didn't fake that. So the Falcon Heavy took up a secret mission for the Space Force and placed it into geostationary Earth orbit. So basically, a satellite.
Giant laser.
It's got rockets.
Giant laser,
lasers.
yeah.
Giant laser.
Death beam. I just call it what it is. It's a death beam.
Death beam.
It's a Death Star.
Right. For the military. So we know what it is.
Or a Death Moon.
So those are our headlines and our follow-ups, and now I want to throw it over to Johnny Kelso for some megabytes, or Kelsobytes.
Ooh. It's a breakthrough in plant breeding. They're not only doing grafting, right? We've been grafting plants for a long time. When you take a piece of one plant, carve out the trunk of another, stick it in there, graft it together, and it grows from that. But now they're using. Do you guys remember?
I wish we could do that with animals.
Just stick a leg in my neck, and let it grow. Do you remember the genome editing CRISPR that's been around for a while?
Yes,
they're altering DNA with it.
Wait, was that a no from Winston?
I'm not. No, I'm not too familiar with the process. But they're going in there and they're able to alter DNA on the fly, basically.
Oh, and bro, dude! Have you seen Jurassic Park? That's how you explain it.
Oh yeah, they're
Mr.
basing
DNA
it off of the
remember?
CRISPR.
Right. That's CRISPR. That's what they were doing. It wasn't called that at the time.
I can't remember.
But just for anybody that doesn't know what CRISPR is, it's basically what they did in Jurassic Park 1, where Mr. DNA comes out and explains all these letters. We sequence this genome, and then we splice in some DNA from something else. They're editing the DNA to make something new.
It's a real thing.
So,
and
yeah,
it's just hovering. It's hovering on that, on the line of whether it's ethical or not to start manipulating human genome. So I say yes, go for it. Fuck it.
Right.
You know what? I'm with Kelso on this one. I see no ethical problems with it. Maybe to get there, we're probably going to face some ethical problems in terms of experimentation and trial
Maybe
and error and stuff like that. But the actual end game, I'm kind of like, why not? Yeah, the double blind study. Yeah, did I get the placebo or not? Well, let me ask you. You're growing an extra head.
Growing out my ass.
Probably did. As someone who wishes he was taller, I guarantee you, I'd love to go in to my DNA and add in a couple of inches to my height. So I'm fine with the end game. It's how we get there is probably going to be the really murky, the murky stuff.
But I mean, once you get like an awesome breakthrough, you forget all that shit real quick.
Yeah, well, we talked about those babies that were cured of HIV. They took it out of the DNA before they were born in China, and so part of the ethical issues here are that all of the genetic advantages are going to go to those who can pay for this service, which means that poor people will die out.
As with everything
unfortunately,
else.
like always, the rich people will take full advantage of the newest technologies.
Just what's that movie, The Lottery?
But then some of those rich people will be at the very bottom of the new society, and they'll be the new poor people. So,
right.
Wait, hold on. I want to hear what Johnny thinks the lottery is about.
Is that the rich people have clones and shit on the ground?
That's the island,
no,
right?
I don't think so. That was the island.
Oh, the island. Sorry.
Yeah.
Right. So it all falls
which
back
got
to the
sued
same
by
thing. There's
the makers of Clonus.
people. Yeah, so they're having problems harvesting organs, so they beat that by just cloning the entire human, and in order for the organs to survive, they have to have like a full society type, but they can't just have clones running around the world, so they built an underground bunker, have them develop the organs, and then when it's time and the host needs them, or it wouldn't be the host, right? It would be, oh God, I don't even know what you call it. The actual person that paid for it. The recipient needs it, then they
the
go
original.
And pull it out of them. Yeah. Number one.
Then they tell them they won the lottery.
Yeah.
Right? That's what you're talking about. The clones, when they win the lottery, they get to go outside into the world or something, into I don't know what they've built for them, but they tell them it's someplace nice, and then they go out there into an elevator, and it turns out, nope, they're going into surgery to harvest the organs.
We need a liver.
Mm-hmm. All right.
You said you had another Kelso bite.
Ah, yes. The other one was, man, I wish Ben was here though.
So you could rub it in his face? What is it?
No. Single injection reverses paralysis in patients with severe spinal cord injuries.
Are you saying you wish he was here because this is his only opportunity to get it, and after
you
this,
never know,
the deadline is gonna run out?
You never know.
I don't know. I mean, maybe he can catch one of the clinical studies or something.
Yo, throw it out. Wait, a single injection?
Is it that painful?
No.
It reverses paralysis in patients with severe.
This isn't like a Ricky Bobby thing, right? Where they poke you once and you go, ow! And you go like,
yeah, that's what I'm
that
thinking.
motherfucker stood up.
That worked. Wow. I thought the COVID vaccine was painful. This made me get out of my chair.
Damn it.
So it's not like that. Wait, is that all you got on it though?
Yeah, I mean it goes into
what's in it.
It says that it harnesses a molecule that they call dancing molecules.
Shut up.
And
they don't want to just make you walk, bro. They want to get you dancing.
Yeah. Yeah, it's supposed to like kickstart some shit in your spinal cord that normally, you know, what is it? It encourages regeneration and
Right.
It kind of like breaks down the scar tissue.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, this is what they
how
were trying to do
long-
with stem cells a while back, but
Right.
obviously that got like, you know, it got scratched because it was
Mhm.
they're taking it from babies.
Which they
Do I
weren't.
remember
Taking
this?
it from babies, wasn't it from the umbilical cord?
I know.
No,
I'm
yeah.
exaggerating because that's what like politicians.
That's
thought
what
it
they
was
do.
happening.
They
Yeah,
exaggerate.
yeah.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, there's people fucking eating that shit up.
Yeah.
They cooked the placenta.
Yeah.
You don't mean the lies. You mean the actual placenta.
the babies.
Oh right.
Yeah.
Oh Jesus Christ.
How long
Let's move
before they
on.
call it before they start calling it the Jesus vaccine? Who helped the lame walk? Our good Lord and Savior Jesus Christ.
Monsanto, our good Lord and Savior Monsanto.
Yeah. That
So
sounds
if
legit.
it can make someone who's paralyzed walk, can you
Can't.
imagine what would happen if we injected into someone like Usain Bolt?
Jeez.
He's gonna crack the
Jesus.
sound barrier.
Jesus.
Jesus.
He's gonna fucking fly.
He's gonna hit a sonic boom. Boom! Whoa! That was
He's gonna
Usain
turn
Bolt.
into Sonic the Hedgehog.
Show him your moves. Oh wait, that was Captain Falco.
Ooh. Well,
Yeah. So it has worked on completely paralyzed mice, and it has they've regained their ability to walk.
dude.
Wow.
That sounds
That's
awesome.
crazy.
But
That's
I also
cool.
think
That's
about
actually
like
really cool.
how they had to paralyze the mics. The mic. They just
Oh,
judo chop.
no.
Let's
Judo
not
chop.
get into that.
Judo chop.
We don't think about that. That's what we're talking about. The road to the
Yeah,
advancement.
that's
I already forgot about that. I already
Right.
forgot about that.
Right.
Because you know
You
they,
healed
they,
them. You
You know
healed
they
them.
just put in an order for like we need 50 paralyzed mice, and then someone shows
Done.
up with a box. It's like here's 50 paralyzed mice,
There you
and they're
go.
like, all right, everybody look away. Nobody, don't ask, don't tell. That's what that's for.
Labeled they were born this way.
I found them like this,
He's like hiding a hammer behind his back.
covered in mouse blood.
Look at that.
I mean, but it's fine because they fixed them.
It's so true. They
3 out
fixed
of
them,
4.
all right.
They
No harm,
fixed
no
3
foul,
out of 4. Oh man.
Now you
All
can
right.
only sue for emotional damage.
Well, it is time to meet up with our nostalgia ambassador and cultural attaché, Winston Smith.
Well, thank you very much for that segue there, Alan. So, you know, a couple of weeks ago, actually it was late last year, I think, where I asked you guys if you had any sort of reports for me to look into. And the first person I had actually asked this of was Mrs. Smith. And she did actually come up with something for me to
Nepotism.
look into. You gotta try it out like that. And you know, when I asked her, it was actually funny because I had asked her, hey, you know, what is there anything you want me to
I'm
cover?
gonna ask the guys, but I'm not gonna care about what they ask.
I know. I want. You're gonna get the first dib. And so I asked her. She's like, "Huh, let me think about it." And then she's like, "Can you get me a soda?" Because even though I don't drink sodas, she still does. She'll occasionally have one as like a
Right.
treat. Like she can make a 6-pack last for like a month and a half or 2 months.
She's testing your result.
You know, she's testing my result, and she's like, "Can you get me a soda?" I'm like, "Yeah." And so I go over and to their little pantry to open it up, and she's like, "Pass me the liter," and I'm just like,
Liter of cola.
which one of these is in charge?
Yeah.
I'm like, how did she know? How did she arrange it to have one
She
that's
knows
a
it.
boss?
They're side by side.
And worse
Wait
than
a
that,
minute.
they were in
Oh, one's
even
in
numbers.
front.
So if it was the odd one, I could be the odd one out. That's the boss.
Yeah,
But they were, she notices I'm just staring at it for like 10, 15 seconds. And she goes, "What's wrong?" And I'm just like, which one of these is the leader? And she says, the
is the
big
leader?"
one that says 1 liter. And I'm like, "Oh, liter." Okay.
Oh.
Oh God!
So I had to pass her the liter. She wanted a liter of cola. And I thought she
I
wanted-
got that immediately. I don't know what you were. I don't know where that fucked up in your brain.
She
That's
caught me
what
in the wrong
happens. That's what
state of
happens when
mind.
you don't drink cola for 13 years.
I make
Forget it
liters
comes
of
in
this
the-
You're
shit.
unfamiliar with the verbiage.
You haven't drank a Coke
I haven't had-
since before there were liters?
Yeah, exactly. That's so true. I gave them up before they started coming out in liters.
They weren't liters. They said 20 ounces on them.
So she ended up. She said, I haven't seen too many troll movies. I would like to know, like, what are your favorite trolls?
Where the hell did that come
And
from?
I have no idea. She pulled this one out of left field. I'm like,
Were you eating
trolls?
brownies?
Really?
We were eating brownies. See, to watch that cotton
She's-
mouth.
she-
That's why she went for the leader.
So give me a liter of cola first, and I'm gonna help you out there. So I started thinking about, like, trolls. I've grown up with some trolls in movies, and I came up with a little
Right.
top 3 list of my favorite trolls from movies that I grew up watching. And starting in at number
Well, you gotta have
3
Trolls
was
World
the
Tour on there for
was
sure.
was the troll from Willow. I don't know if you. I think this might have been probably the first live action movie troll I ever saw. Was the little hairy little thing from Willow. Ugly. You could tell even just from watching it on TV. That was a smelly troll. That was a stinky little troll.
God.
And it's covered in like the Bigfoot fur, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
And he probably had that Sasquatch mask, and it made a weird little, so it was pretty gross. So I showed her Willow, and she said, "All right, this was pretty fun." She enjoyed the whole movie, of course. Willow's a good movie.
Have you had a chance to catch the episodes?
I have not actually. I should look
They
into
bring him back.
the troll.
Saving that.
They go into their lair.
Oh, troll lair.
They have evolved.
No,
Stop.
troll evolution.
That's all I'm gonna say. They have evolved, and it is fucking hilarious. Because if you're that big a fan of the original Willow,
Oh yeah.
what like you go into that place fucking thinking and
Something.
expecting one thing,
Yes.
and then smack they
Not at
fucking
all.
hit you with this fucking. And it's fucking. I liked it. I loved it. I loved what they did. I was like, how could they possibly like get like a whole episode out of trolls?
Out of a troll, yeah. It was like a 10-minute scene in the movie.
Yeah, and I was like, man, they fucking nailed it.
I'm gonna have to. I'm
loved
gonna have to look that up then. Very.
You,
cool.
you have to watch it. But the only down part about it is that I don't that sucks. But it's health issues, man. Is that Val
Val.
Kilmer's not?
Yeah. We know. Unfortunately, Val's had a lot of
most
health
of it,
issues.
most of the show revolves around him in
Wow.
one way or another. They're paying homage to him real good though.
Very cool. I'll definitely have to check that out.
I
And
do like
moving
him. I
on
do-
from
Disney
from
Plus
Willow.
for anybody that wants to catch it.
Disney Plus. That's right.
Right.
Moving on from Willow, my second favorite troll is I can't even remember if he had a name or not, but it's the troll from Ernest Scared Stupid.
Oh, the little
That-
short bastard.
that
Wait, was
thing.
that Willow also?
No, that wasn't Willow.
That was not him?
Willow didn't play that troll. No, this troll was clearly a little taller. Like it was so tall, it was more like a short person rather than a little person. It was like a short, regular sized person rather than a big
Yeah.
little person.
You had to kill him with love.
You had to kill him with love, yeah. And this was a pretty horrifying troll. Like if you watch this movie
Oh,
young
yeah.
enough, this troll is gonna scare the heck out of you.
Motherfucker had 2 noses.
He had 2 noses, snot all over it, and he gave Ernest P. Worrell the fight of his life. Even his kung fu and all his troll battling equipment couldn't help him. And it's pretty gruesome. There's some pretty traumatizing moments there, especially when he starts kidnapping the children. Like he's after children and their souls, and he turns them into these little wooden dolls, and he starts capturing them, and it's pretty horrifying. There's some scary moments with this troll. Like if you didn't think an Ernest movie could be scary, this could be pretty scary. And then my number 1 troll was, I believe his name was Tantor from the movie Troll. Like that's the ultimate troll movie, and we all know that troll song. Da 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 dun 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 dun. That's out of nowhere. There's like a musical number in this movie with all these trolls singing this
You're
ancient
right.
Celtic type chant or whatever, and it's actually a really cool movie. It's all about this troll who wants to sort of take over our reality, and the only way to do that is by taking over this entire apartment building, room by room by room. He's going and killing and transforming the tenants into trolls in order to create this big portal that's gonna open up the world of the trolls and the demons into our reality. And it's really cool. It's actually a really fun movie. And the troll is played by a little person. I can't remember his name, but he was Funkar from Willow. Funkar! You know, he plays the troll, and he has a little cameo as sort of himself as an English professor. And it's actually, it's still one of my favorite movies to watch, especially around Halloween. And the main character's name is Harry Potter. So
What?
do with that what you will. It's Harry Potter. Actually, the father's Harry Potter and the little boy is Harry Potter Jr. So we got two Harry Potters in this movie.
Harry.
What year was this one?
I want to say 86, 87 maybe. Yeah. Definitely the mid 80s.
That's the one.
Yeah. Okay, Trantor is the name. Trantor.
He had the ring with the needle.
He had a ring with a needle. Yes.
He would prick you with it. The prick.
The little prick would prick you.
Prick. He'd prick you with a little prick.
And then turn you into a troll. And there is a sequel to this movie called Troll 2. Do not watch it.
Don't watch that one.
It is
it's so bad.
Terrible, and it is boring. That's what's worse.
Oh, God.
It's boring. I couldn't stand it.
A lot of green ooze in that one, right?
Yeah.
I think the only part I liked was when he was turned into a fucking tree.
Yeah, that's true. There is a little gruesome, but the rest of the movie is just boring and bad and cheesy, and it's the only movie that honestly makes me sort of rethink veganism at times.
Okay, so it turns out that the troll from Ernest, his name is Trantor, and the troll from this movie is Turok.
Ooh.
Turok. Yeah, thank you very much for the clarification.
Right.
Yeah, that was just because I was trying to find the actual picture of him, and it wouldn't come out. So
check out any of those movies if you ever see them.
Yeah, and let us know what you think in the comments on Facebook or in a review on Apple Podcast.